Every day, girls are ridiculed, mocked, made fun of, and thought less of in comparison to guys. Article 7 of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights declares that all are equal before the law and are entitled without any discrimination to equal protection of the law. All are entitled to equal protection against any discrimination in the violence of this declaration and against any incitement to such discrimination.
When it comes to girls' rights, it's key to understand that all around the world, millions of girls are being denied access to their basic rights simply because they're girls. And we need to understand that girls face separate barriers and obstacles just because they're girls. So they need to be recognized as a specific group within the larger category when we often talk about women's rights. So one big achievement this year was having the first ever International Day of the Girl, and this was declared by the United Nations back in December and celebrated for the first time on October 11th, 2012. This day really marked an increased awareness and focus on girls, because what we have is a situation of plight but also power. We know that around the world, girls are being discriminated against just for being girls when it comes to things like going to school, getting enough food to eat, being able to make their own choices about marriage and childbirth. But on the other hand, we know that when girls are invested in, when they have the opportunity to be educated, to stay healthy, to fulfill their potential, that they are key to breaking the cycle of poverty, because they go on to share what they're learning with the people around them, to reinvest the money they're earning into their family and their community, and ultimately to break cycles that have been perpetuating for generation after generation when it comes to poverty. So there's a lot more conversation going on right now in international organizations, at government levels, and grassroots levels as well, about the importance of investing in girls. And we want to spread the message that girls' rights are human rights. The same rights that apply to boys, to men, to women, apply to girls. We know that in many societies, women's role, and therefore girls' role, has really been about the household, about looking after the children, cooking and cleaning, and those are important roles to play. But if you are limiting the scope of what a girl or woman can do to that very small sphere, then you're not allowing them equality of opportunity. So in terms of why, it's a very complex question that goes back many years of a long history of patriarchy and power structures, but ultimately it comes down to not recognizing the fact that girls' rights are human rights, that the same human rights apply to everyone. Well, I think a big part of it is the way that we see girls and women represented in media primarily. We know that a lot of a girl's sense of self-esteem comes from the portrayals that she's seen around her about what it should mean to be a girl, what she should look like, what she should act like, what she should be interested in. And you can see a very sharp decline in a girl's sense of self-worth as she gets older. So around the age of 12, 13, 14 is when girls who were previously very confident in themselves and eager to voice their opinion, to go out and play sports, to try new things, start to feel much more self-critical and withdrawn, because they start to be aware of the role society is expecting them to play. And it's to look like that model in the magazine, it's to have the right clothes, to be interested in the right things. So it can be very challenging to understand where your place in society is when the representations that you're seeing of yourself are very one-sided. So I think the more that girls can be exposed to different experiences of being female, and the more they can be educated about their rights and the importance of voicing their own opinions and given the tools to do that in a supportive environment where the boys and men are alongside as supporters, as allies, then that is really what will help us challenge some of the discrimination that girls are facing in our own society.
What do you think? Equality exists for both sex, men and women, boys and girls. Not all girls are provided with the necessities that we have: education, freedom of speech, even care. For us to have such an abundance in North America, we should get everyone to hear this message. Now how? Raise awareness, support groups such as Because I Am a Girl, and you can also donate to organizations to these causes to support girls across the world.